Welcome back to the University Report. Let's take a look at your Pioneer sports. Although the spring season is upon us, the weather hasn't cooperated yet for games to be completed here at UW-Platteville. The University of Wisconsin-Platteville softball team doubleheader scheduled for yesterday against Loris was postponed due to inclement weather. The doubleheader has been rescheduled for Thursday, March 31st at 4 p.m. The Pioneer baseball team headed down to St. Louis to hopefully find better luck with weather there. They played 5 games in a weekend set with Washington University of St. Louis and Carthage College. Games kicked off earlier today. University of Wisconsin-Platteville sophomore Alan Fish was recognized by the National Wrestling Coaches Association as a 2010-2011 NWCA Scholar All-American. Fish, a building construction management major, posted a 24-10 overall mark for the Pioneers. His 24 wins were the second most on the team, and he finished third at the WIAC Wrestling Championships. Pioneer Track and Field crowned 2 All-Americans over spring break at the NCAA Division III Indoor Men and Women's Track and Field Championships. Junior Ann Tank, who finished 8th in 2010, improved her finish in 2011 with second place in the 800-meter run. Also earning All-American recognition was junior Patrick Klein in the mile, who finished 8th. Stay tuned because when we come back on the University Report, I'll have Question of the Week and this weekend's weather.
Dinner makes a difference. Learn more at casafamilyday.org.
You want to fight childhood asthma? Fight it with a bear. Fight it with a duck. Fight it with a wrench. You can fight childhood asthma by tossing Teddy in the freezer to wipe out dust mites, by drying off bath toys to keep mold away, and by fixing leaks to stop the moisture that lets mold grow. Discover other simple ways to prevent an asthma attack. Call 1-866-NO-ATTACKS or visit noattacks.org. Because no child should feel like a fish out of water.
Something's happening to the polar bear. Arctic sea ice is melting away. 2/3 of the world's polar bears will be gone by 2050, and the entire species could be extinct by the end of the century. Go to SaveThePolarBear.org today.
Welcome back to the University Report. Now it's time for Question of the Week. This week we asked students what they did over spring break. A lot of students get to travel out to Florida and go to the sunny beaches of Panama City and Daytona Beach. I, by the way, as you can tell by my white complexion, got to stay home and work all week, which wasn't a lot of fun, but let's hope these students had a little bit more fun.
Platteville and caught up with my schoolwork.
I went to Gulf Shores, Alabama with 17 people and had a blast.
Over spring break, I decided to stay home and hang out with my friends and family, and I decided to paint my room really cool colors.
And over spring break, I went and visited my girlfriend at Winona for a week, and that was it.
Over spring break, I stayed in Platteville for a while, went to Wisconsin Dells, stayed in the Chula Vista, hit up the water parks, went out and did a lot of relaxing.
Over spring break, all I did was really play video games. That was majority of my spring break, but I also went to go visit my high school and my old high school track team. So that's pretty much it.
I hung out with a bunch of my friends back home and went shopping.
Now let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. Friday afternoon, it's going to be cloudy with a slight chance of rain, a high of 38, and an easterly wind at 9 miles per hour. Friday evening, partly cloudy, an overnight low of 21, and a northeast wind at 11 miles per hour. Saturday morning, it's going to be partly cloudy, sunny though, high in 36, and a northeast wind of 16 miles per hour. Let's take a look at your weekend forecast. As I stated, Saturday is going to get up in 36. It's going to stay just below 40 degrees, drop down that night into 21 degrees. Sunday will rise up 1 more degree to 37 with a low of 24. And let's take a look at the rest of your 7-day forecast. On Monday, we'll get a temperature of 42 with a low of 28. Tuesday, a high of 38 with a low of 31. And on Wednesday, we'll start climbing into the 50s with a high of 49 and a low of 38. And on Thursday, we're going to finally climb into the 50s and with a low of 38 that night. And on Friday, we'll climb into 52, but we're going to see some showers. And then into the weekend, we'll finally start to see some sun, which I'm pretty excited about, going into Mudfest this weekend. So we'll get a little rain, make it nice and muddy, and then we'll go play and it'll be sunny out. Everybody can enjoy themselves.
I hope that next weekend we do not get the little rain that you said, the high of 52.
Oh, it's your birthday.
It's my birthday, April Fool's Day.
Well, maybe they're just trying to fool us at weather.com.
I hope so.
Well, as long as it doesn't snow, I'm a happy camper.
Yes.
True. You know what
I'm done with snow.
You know what they say, April showers bring May flowers. So start off that way.
I hope we bring flowers. All right, so tune in next week for the University Report. I'm April Caleb.
I'm Courtney Ryan.
And I'm Ross Maccabee.